Thanks for joining us for this edition of From the Pastor's Desk. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about God's plan for us, and that God has always had a plan for His people. Back in Genesis, God told Abram that his descendants would be mistreated in a foreign land for 400 years. And at this point in our story that we're talking about it with our children, God has finally come to the point where the 400 years are over, and God is now showing up to say, all right, those 400 years that I talked to you about before are over, so here's my plan for you. And here comes Moses, a man that has been brought up by the Pharaoh's daughter and was treated as royalty, to find out that that really wasn't who he was, and ran and is now a sheep herder for his father-in-law. And he's sitting in the desert watching these sheep when he sees a burning bush. And God appears to him and says, "Here I am, take your shoes off, you're standing on holy ground because I am in your presence." And he falls out to God and he says, "What do you want from me?" And God says, "I have a plan for you and for my people, and I need you to deliver them from Egypt." And Moses says, "Well, what do I need to do?" And God says, "I need you to go to Pharaoh, and I need you to tell him to let my people go." And Moses says, "Well, I don't know about that, God. I'm not a good speaker. I am not prepared for this. I am not the right man for you." And God says, "Who do you think I am? Do you think that I have all these powers and all these great things I can do for you? Or do you think I'm that small that I'm limited by your abilities?" And God says, "Now I will warn you that Pharaoh's going to tell you no. And this will be a fight. But if you do what I have asked, I have a greater plan. And I will be with you, and I will provide for you, and you will see what will happen." And Moses goes to Pharaoh, and we all know what plays out. Pharaoh says no, all these 12 plagues come on. And finally, at the end, when death has come, Pharaoh decides to let the people go. And they leave Egypt just to be chased by Pharaoh because he changes his mind. But God's still not done with his people. And he tells Moses, "Reach out over the ocean, over the sea, and separate this sea, and your people will walk through on dry land." And Moses follows, and the people walk through, and when they get to the end, he says, "Raise your staff one more time." And the sea crashes down on the Pharaoh's people, and the Israelites are now free from their captivity and their slavery. All because Moses did what God had asked, even though Moses knew that he didn't have the ability to do it. So what I want you to get from this is that if we do what God asks, it doesn't matter what we're limited to, because God has a greater plan, and He is able to do more with us than we think we can do. So just trust God. That's my biggest thing. Trust God, and He will prepare you, and He will enable you to do what He has called you to do. Thanks for joining us. If you like this, please like and share. And join us for our church service on Sunday at 10:30. Great to see you. Thanks.